So when it comes to your training, you can either get a set over with, get it done, check it off a list and move on, or you can actually execute it. You can approach your set with intensity and a high level of effort and get the most out of it. And that's what's going to make the difference between someone who just is in the gym week after week, year after year, not seeing any progress, versus someone who's going to steadily make good, consistent progress and build a physique and strength that they're looking for over time. So this is really going to be more of a mindset video delving into that idea of just getting through a set versus executing a set. Now, when you're in the beginner stages, you have more leeway to just get through your sets, get them done, and you'll see results. You hear people talk about all the time consistency. That's the number one thing. I more think of that as the first thing. That's the first thing that you need to get down along the way to achieving a good physique. Because if all you are is consistent, but you're consistently showing up with a low level of effort, past the beginner stages, that's not going to get you very far. I've worked with many clients throughout the years, and I've seen that happen time and time again, where people show up consistently. I mean, I see them frequently, but it's a consistent low level of effort, and that's just not going to get you very far. So you can't just approach these sets as checking it off a list, saying it's done and moving on with your day. If you want to get something out of this, you need to be ready to attack these sets, execute these sets with a high level of effort. So intensity, and I'm not a high intensity or a high volume guy, but in general, you're going to need to put a high level of effort and intensity behind your sets to really get something out of them. But it can't just be intense and it can't just be high effort, because if you're doing that with poor technical execution, yes, there's the risk of injury, but beyond that, there's also just the risk of not actually getting the target muscle to struggle to perform what exercise you're trying to do. So if we take a bicep curl, for example, if I focus on a high level of technical execution, I'm going to force my biceps to struggle and strain against this weight, particularly as I get towards those hardest reps at the end, where you're most tempted to shift and twist and get other stuff involved, get more momentum, shift out of position. That's where it's going to be most crucial to keep your technique sound and consistent. That way your muscle is struggling against that weight over and over again, rep after rep, time after time. That's where you have to be mentally prepared for that at the back end of the set. You can't let it catch you off guard and just, again, get through it and make it happen however you can. It needs to be executed with a high level of effort for a high level of technical skill against the target muscle. And that's what we're looking for here when we're trying to really build up our size and strength. So a good way to keep yourself accountable with this is simply filming your sets. I know if you're in a public gym, that's not always ideal. It can be a little uncomfortable, but as long as you're respectful and just stay in your space, you can film your sets and look over them to ensure that not only are you pushing to that high level of effort, but you're keeping that technique sound. I'm not saying that you can never stray out of absolute perfect technique as you strain. For the majority of people, that's not going to be possible, but it needs to stay very consistent and relatively standardized. That way you're just not escaping that stress and tension as it starts to get hard. And filming your sets can be a great way of checking yourself and making sure that what you're feeling and experiencing in the moment is lining up with what you're seeing later on when you review the footage. So kind of a shorter video today, but I just wanted to get this idea out there of just getting through your sets versus actually executing them and getting the most out of your training. If you like what you hear, please comment, like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks.